7. Left wall off the head. 6. And it landed in his lap. Catch him there, you guys. 5. Oh, Beauty Life and the Beast Barber in the house. 4. 3. 2. Last one. 3, 2. Who's listening? Who's showing respect? Let's see. Where are your hands? Eyes? And what is your mouth doing? We have lots of visitors here today. No, we're not talking. Whoever's trying to be funny. Not even funny. Are we ready? We're not ready. I still see people. Wait till everyone's quiet. How was this morning? If you enjoyed it, just raise your hand. You don't need to say nothing. Okay. All right. Here we go. So our next speakers only have 25. My sister this morning, she didn't get through a quarter of it. She still had so much that she had to say, but she cut it short. Okay? Who knows? Who can tell me again? And I'll give away a t-shirt for this. Why are we here today? How come? Hands up. Don't even shout it out.
You're still in the center.
Mally left twice this morning. Let's see if you know the answer, Mally.
Yep, zoom out. Okay, maybe if you can step back a bit.
What about it though?
Slowly.
What about it? I need details. Right here. Nope. What is the objective? Saying the Lord's name in vain. What is the objective of today, Hank? Hank. What is the objective of today? Let's see who is listening. Yes, it is truth and reconciliation. Yes, it is residential schools, but there's a reason. Hank.
Yeah, you can make them as long as you want. Just put them. Hold the other one.
I'm not answering it for. I know why we're here. Cameron. Shh, shh. Cameron.
Yeah, whoever's speaking.
Close, but no. Yes and no. Ethan. Shh. Huh? Yeah, so you are going to leave here with strategies, right? Let's see if I'm good. Stand up. Stand up, Pasigu. Perfect. All right, so here's our next presenter. He is here to talk about mental health. Oh, sorry. Healing through ceremonies and culture. You guys know who this is? Randall Lewis. Can we give him a round of applause, please?
All right. I'm going to paint you guys a picture. You're a freshly made picture a freshly made Sundance Live. I'm walking through the door. I can hear the whistles. I could hear the drummers singing. And I'm sitting there with my down, looking down, praying. And then somebody that I know, who I love, his name is Leon, my uncle, comes up to me with a print and tobacco, and he tells me, "Basuga, igwa." And I looked at him. Okay. So I went with him to an elder to get me prayed to be in Oskapios. And that's how my journey started to these ceremonies. It's a beautiful life to live. It's a great way to live. They talk about truth and reconciliation. I'm a part of that intergenerational trauma. My dad went to school here at the RC school for about 7 years until he ran away from that school. He was treated bad. He was abused. He was beat up for speaking his language. And that followed him through the years. And I didn't understand. I didn't understand why he was the way he was. He never told me, "I love you." Because you know what? They weren't taught love in those residential schools. They weren't held, nothing like that. So I grew up with that. And the way he showed me love was teaching me hard work, waking up in the morning, going out to work, going out to fence, going out to fix vehicles. That was the way he showed me how. I started working at a very young age, 15 years old. I was building fence for farmers, making a little bit of money for myself. So he taught me the value of hard work, which I'm proud of that. She was taken at a young age at the hospital in Edmonton. So she stayed there for 2 years. And she had to endure all this stuff that she went through. I don't really like to ask her about it because I could see that it bothers her still. But she went through a lot also. But I'm thankful. They brought me up the best way that they could without being taught how. To say I love you. I'm not afraid to hug them. I'm not afraid to kiss them. Because that's how much I love them. But in my journey, I got lost along the way. I don't know how that happened, but my first drink, I was a young man, probably about 14 years old. I was 14 years old. 20 years down the road, I started drinking just to have fun. But then somehow I lost it. I started drinking to black out, to not be a fun person, to be. And in the process, my older children, they're 18 and 19 now. They saw the bad side of me. That's Mylan and Miles. Those are my kids. They saw the bad. I was drinking. I was never really there. But when I was a sober man, I was a good man. I was a good person. So and then one day, everything just came crashing down on me. I took it too far. I lost my license. I lost my job. I lost my family. And I lost my vehicle. All in one night. all because of drinking. And I was doing drugs. So called a family meeting with my sisters, my mom, my dad. I called everybody into my mom's house. I told them, I've been doing drugs, I've been drinking, and I've been hiding it from you guys for so long. And then after that, I wanted to find resources to try and help me. So I went to Iguisquit Rehab Center, Treatment Center, and Iguisquit Rehab Center, Treatment Center, and I spoke to somebody there, a good friend of mine that teaches me culture, and he was trying to send me to treatment or no, detox out in Estevan, and I turned it down because I told him I don't think it'll help me. I don't think that's going to help me. I need something else. I want to do it I want to take the cultural road. And then he looked at me, all right, we can try it. So from there, I started going to sweats. I started off with sweat lodges, taking in print for myself, praying for my family. And I'll tell you this one story, this one sweat lodge that I went to. I went to Waterhen. I went to a sweat lodge over there. I took in a print. I told them what it was for. No, I didn't even tell them what it was for. I just gave it to them. And then I told them just for me and my family. But inside that lodge, I was actually praying for, I forgive my parents because they didn't know any better. They taught me the best way that they could because of residential school. And then in that sweat lodge, I prayed. And then they opened the door. One of the elders said, guess what I seen? And I said, what? I saw a priest walking out that door. And then I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him that it was me praying for something like that. And then from there, I felt like I was free. I was free. Those sweat lodges are pretty powerful. They can help our people in many ways. So after that, I started putting in the work. Now I'm going to go into where I started off my story, that sweat lodge. So after that sweat lodge, I started dance lodge. I started going around with my uncle. That first year I started, I probably 9 sun dances, helping out, setting up the lodge. And you know, when you set up that lodge, it's a lot of hard work. So we set that up from morning right till sometimes the evening, depending on how many Oskapiosuk that we have. And sometimes there wasn't very much. There'd be 6, 7 of us working on that lodge. And that was hard work. So I went to about quite a bit of them anyways that time. Second year, we did the same thing. Second year, we did the same thing. And this was my healing process right here. I didn't know that. It was making my mind, my spirit strong in the process. And then I'll tell you one dream that I had. I was into the ceremony, but I was still drinking at the time. And then I was supposed to go dance at this Sundance, right? I went and told my mom, I went and talked to my mom. I don't think I'm going to dance. And she looked at me straight in the eye. You can't do that. If you say you're good to do it. And I was like, no, I don't think I could do it. I don't feel too good. Making excuses, right? And then that night, I fell asleep. There was a stick hanging here. a print at the end. I picked it up, put it on my shoulders. I went walking. There was 2 other people behind me. I couldn't see them. I put it down. And then I looked in the distance from far away. I could see the buffalo come cruising as fast. I don't know, it was fast. He came right at me. He turned at the last second. And then he says to me, he's not doing it right. He's not doing it right. Now I'm going to speak in Cree. He started speaking in Cree. Then out of nowhere, there's this big horse. The hind legs were behind. And I was moving like this, right? Trying to avoid it. But he kept following me like he wanted to kick me. So then, after that, I was in another part of that. I don't know where I was, but I was in another part there. I saw a tall, skinny man come running fast, man. You could see the dust right behind him. Fast. And he gets up and he flips me with ease. That's how powerful the grandfather. He flipped me with ease. And then from there, I was on my hands and knees like this. I got up, I was still on my knees, and I was getting dragged by 2 people. Something came up to me. Good. And he was holding a jar to my mouth. And I was moving my mouth. I was like, no, Monia, I don't want that. I woke up. I told my uncle about that dream. The grandfathers are mad at you. You made a commitment that you didn't follow through. So the very next weekend there was a Sundance. Oh, I went and danced. I was scared. That was that I had. And I forgot to tell you guys, I left everyone alone for 2 years. I went ghost mode. Nobody knew where I was. All I did was go to ceremonies and go home. Ceremonies, go home. That's all I did. And the only people that I contacted were my family. Because I know that I could count on. Those are the only people that are going to be there for me. Not going to be there for me. No. When things got tough, when things got hard, they left. And guess who was there? My family, my mom, my dad, my sisters, my wife, my kids. And that's when I realized that I've come a long way, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning. But to this day, oh no, after those 2 years were done, my uncle told me, you know what? You're good. You can go out there. You've learned enough. You can go out there and help. So that next year, that third year, I went to a Sundance in Chittick Lake. I brought 2 young men with me. His name was Theory in Chief. He was a young man. Theory in Chief. And to this day, we still work together on these lodges. He still comes along with me. He's still learning. He's still learning. And as my adopted son, which I'm proud that I did that. But as I go to these Sundays, my tent, I'll take pillow, I'll take a blanket, and then make my way over there. I don't have to worry about food. I don't have to worry about drinks, because the Creator took care of me over there. Took care of me. I knew that He would. these lodges that we have, are Creator's gift to us. When Sky talk, we have to wake up our spirits. Some of us feel lost, but you guys aren't alone. You guys are never alone. You guys have people to talk to. Don't ever feel like you're not. You're not alone. You guys are going to be the next generation that could break the cycle, right? Stop the drinking. Stop the You guys can do it. Drinking and drugs, they're not good. They're not good for you. I don't know. They don't heal you at all. But you guys need to, and you young men, I always hear this from the elders. Pasaguk, you young men, up now. Stand up for our women. Respect your women. In a relationship, I'll tell you this. It's not 100 to 50. No, 100 to 0. No, it's 50-50. Nobody owns anybody here. So you can't act like that. You can't act like you own the other person. But I could say more, but my time is running low. And if you guys need like cultural guidance, I don't know much, but I can help you as much as I can. If you guys want to go to a Sundance, come and see me. I'll take you. I'll take you guys. Because I was lost at one point. Creator saved me. I went to my uncle's Sundance Lodge in Loon Lake. I danced in that Sundance Lodge right beside him. I cried. I cried. I cried. Creator, help me. Help me quit. Help me quit what I'm doing. Help me put the bottle down. Help me put these drugs away. And I totally looked at my uncle. Uncle, thank you for me. I didn't do nothing. Creator. So as time went on, 2, 4, 6 weeks after that Sundance, I had no cravings at all. He took pity on me. And I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that. And I'm thankful for my wife here for standing through me through the years. My kids, I'm thankful for my. They could have up and left me. They did. And that's probably what smartened me up. But I'm thankful. Hi, you guys. Nanas kumtaguk.
Real forward. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're running a little late, but you know what? Honestly, it doesn't matter if we have to go into our break. We'll anyways. Okay? We'll still have our 10-minute break. It's 1:48. Unfortunately, his wife could not be here because she's what? What? Okay, she just snuck. Okay, two speakers. Healing through nutrition, health, and sports with Ken.
No, I was sick. Just kidding. We're just gonna let the presentation come online here. I like to do visuals just because it connects with the students, I feel, because I know how it is when you're sitting there all day. You know, it's easier when you see things on the board. So we'll let that get started. No, I don't have a clicker. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. First, we want to thank Sagaskuch, the staff, the students, and the community for giving us this opportunity to be here and to share with you today. My name is Trista, and this is my husband, Ken. And together, to be part of the Truth and Reconciliation Workshop. The theme for today is healing and moving forward. This theme is powerful because it reminds us that our ancestors didn't survive everything they went through just so we would be stuck in survival. They fought so that we could live good lives, and that one of the ways we honor them is by living strong, healthy, and balanced lives. Today, we are going to share about nutrition, health, and sports. But not just in a way of food and fitness, because for us, it's about healing our mind, our body, and our spirit. It's about breaking cycles that were trauma and choosing in ways that help us move forward. We believe that healing begins with each of us making small, consistent choices in how we take care of ourselves and each other. I want to share with you guys this afternoon.
All right, guys. So, hello, my name is Badger. A lot of you know me as the Beast Bar. I just want to share some topics that really matter. First of all, I just want to thank Randall. Give him a good applause. That was a good story he had there, and a little story with me and Randall. A little story with me and Randall. We've known each other for quite some time. When in Saskatoon, we would see each other at the White Buffalo Youth Lodge playing basketball. We ended up playing some tournaments together, winning some tournaments, and so we know each other way back. Story with me and him is, he was one of those guys for me. He was one of those guys that, took me in, took me to ceremony, when I was in my tough times, So I really respect him for that, and I like to acknowledge him for that, because he didn't give up on me either. He gave me phone calls. When I needed to go to a sweat lodge, he would take me. He really helped me through my journey, so I just want to acknowledge him for that. So I want to show what really matters. For me, nutrition, health, and sports aren't just about eating right or working out. They're about balance, okay? Balance of our mind, our body, and our spirit. Our ancestors went through so much. They survived residential schools, trauma, hardship. Because of them, we're here today, okay? Just think about that. We honor them by choosing not to only survive, but to live strong and balanced. Every time we take care of ourselves, whether it's eating a good meal, drinking water, playing sports, or even speaking kindly about ourselves. Give yourself a good comment once in a while. When you're doing something good, give yourself a good comment. I did good in this test today. Thank you. Good job, Ken. I did good, and I let my buddy know something about himself that he didn't know about himself, and it made him feel good. Good job, Ken. You know, just those little bit of sayings sometimes help you through things, okay? And also helping a friend or a family member through those type of things, okay? So we're honoring our ancestors by creating a stronger future for the next generation. You know, the kids after you, you know, and now's that time. Okay, now's that time to really change. You know, back in my day, you know, that was something that wasn't talked about too much. Change. And now you guys hear it all the time because that's what's right. People like me that been through those rough times, like my bro Randall. Only the good things have made me change. So keep doing good for yourself in those ways. So me and my wife, we did take some fitness classes, okay? And she's going to talk about that a little bit. Sorry, difficult.
Dry land training in the res. Some of the bantam and meat boy hockey players.
Let's go, boys. Hockey season is coming.
So I just want to share a video, how we connect with the community. But this is where our story really connects to cycles of high blood pressure and diabetes in our families, and we made that choice. The cycle ends with us. Became a certified fitness trainer with CanFit Pro Canada and studied health and nutrition. Ken also trained with fitness because together, not just for ourselves and not just for our son, but for our community. So that and it was so powerful to see so much energy and fun they had moving in their bodies. And when we lived here last summer, we had dryland training all summer for free for kids. And that's something we always wanted to do when we lived here, giving back to the community. We even did women fitness classes. And I hope it carries on because I know some of the male hockey players were here this summer and they did classes. Because I don't know if you guys know that the arena has a full function gym that's open to the it's open to anybody. You can go there and work out. So if you feel like, you know, there's nothing to do, you can go to the arena and you can work out. They have all the things you need, ellipticals, they have everything in their weights. So these photos in the middle, these are photos from our CanFit Pro training, proof that we invested in ourselves so we could pass it on to others. And on the right is one of my favorite moments. I was doing cooking classes where we favorite res meals like hamburger and noodles and add simple changes like vegetables just to make it healthier. And sometimes it's hard to have like all the fresh vegetables in the reserve. That's why I want to teach how can we make res meals healthy. You know, hamburger and noodles, make a stir fry. Just add vegetables. If you don't have fresh ones, you could add frozen ones because they're just as good too. You know, I grew up eating noodles all the time and just rice and crackers and butter, and that up with intergenerational trauma, and that's why we're breaking the cycle. I want to teach people how to, what is it called? That's what we call from res to restaurant. I'm gonna have a cooking class. But it's about showing our people that we don't have to give up on who we are. We can build up on it and we can make it even stronger.
Okay, so we're going to switch it to the next slide here. Now, you can, if we all look at these slides, we can all see processed and healthy ways of living right there with the healthy foods, okay? On the left side, there are foods our people before colonization schools. You know, we lived on the land, from the land, wild berries, fish, moose, you know, all the things that a lot of our hunters around here go get. Okay, so continue to eat those, okay, for the next generations too. Show them that balance. You know, the balance between life, food, where you get your food from, hunting, you know, the good things that bring you outside, hunting. You know, being outside, you're getting vitamin C too, you know, all that good stuff when you're outside, enjoying yourself, hunting for yourself, okay? And on the right side, a lot of us know these foods. I still eat some of these foods, you know? And with me, because I ate that type of food as a child growing up too, I've seen a lot of my family go through diabetes, you know, health hazards, including myself. I have gout. You know, I don't know if anybody knows what gout means. It's when you eat bad and you get all these bumps on your hands and on your legs, and it could affect you how you walk and things too. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to get that or anything, but that's something that I have to deal with because of my choices that I made when I was younger. Okay, so taking some time to look at this picture and think about all the things that you eat through your day, how you can substitute one of these for one of those. Now, it's not going to start today. You know, it may take some time for you to change your diet or what you're eating. Shot, you know, when they have lunches here, if they have, go home, have an apple, or I'm sure they have here, add an apple to that. You know, give yourself a little bit of energy, vitamins, minerals. Body stay healthy and look healthy too. Okay? Our bodies were never foods here. Okay? That's why today so many people are struggling with diabetes, health, you know, high blood pressure, you know, poor health. These illnesses were not part of our ancestors. They weren't here before. I think our ancestors were healthy and striving. Distances, you know, dance and be happy. Okay? So this shift wasn't a choice, it was forced. But now that we know the truth, we can start to change it. We can go back to our balance and honoring our food. Okay, that once made us strong. Okay, guys, the next generation that we deserve more than survival. We deserve to live strong and healthy. All right, so like I said, try. If you're gonna have, you know, one of these part of your day, even it out, boy. There you go. Fish. You know, and these are the things that I had to take out of my diet because of how I was eating. Okay? So now we're going to move on to the next slide.
First, I want to ask, how many people drink energy drinks? Okay, that's a lot of hands, you guys. That's a lot of more work at school. Oh my goodness. I'm going to show you guys something, all right? Food is fuel in a car. Here you can see the difference. Banana gives you steady, lasting energy. This is the kind of energy that keeps you in school, sports, and life. The energy drinks, they give you a quick spike and then you crash. So yeah, you probably do get quick energy, but then you're gonna crash right away. So you're not gonna have energy. Banana will give you energy and you'll be steady all day. And then that one gives you nutrients too, and it helps with your muscles. The energy drink doesn't help with your muscles. You know, energy drinks, They can push your heart too hard. They could leave you tired. And they don't fuel your body the way it needs to be fueled. You want to perform at your best, whether it's in sports, school, or life, fuel yourself with food, because what you put in your body is what you'll get out of it. And yeah, you know what? Too much sugary drinks, too much energy drinks cause heart attacks later on in life. And it's proven fact. There's so many people who are 20 years old that and people even in our reserve prize, the most athletic people, they're having heart conditions now because of the Red Bull and the Monster. It seems okay for a while, but when you use it every day, it catches up on you. So if you want energy, just have an apple or banana. And honestly, it's gonna make you feel better. You're not gonna feel that crash or anything.
And another thing that gives you energy, guys, can someone give me an answer here? Banana, water. Okay, now how about who wants their day off with breakfast? All right, so there's about half and half. Right? So starting your day off with breakfast is good for you. It gives you that energy through your day, to start your day. Okay, and everybody thinks that you need energy drinks to start your day. You don't. You need a good health / food that will give you that energy through the day, okay? Having a good breakfast, like maybe some toast, something like that to start your day, okay? And next is our water. How many cups of water a day? 8 to 10 cups of water. Who drinks that? Perfect. For those that don't have their hands up, let's have some more water throughout your day, all right? Protein, meat like hamburger, chicken, fish, beans, you know, that's good protein. For a walk, you don't have to work out. You could go walk, you could do yard work, you could do chores at home. Those are considered workouts because you're even in school. That's why you have to fuel yourself up every day at lunch and breakfast, because you're working, you're walking to class, you have phys ed, you have things, your mind's working, all fixed with healthy eating, guys. Okay? And I'm a big guy, you know, sports with some of you young fellas. And that's what it's about. Set yourself up now at your age, like some of us, with sore knees and, you know, gout like myself. Okay? Now, every morning, who's a gamers? Let's see your hands, gamers. There, now, all you guys almost. Okay, so when you're gaming, how long do you usually game for in a session? Hours. Not 1 hour, hours, I heard. Okay, now think about this. Who took the time to take 5 minutes away from their game to stretch? Not in your chair, but getting out of your chair and physically walking somewhere and stretching. Okay, there you go. Get that started, guys. Yes, okay, we get it. You game, that's what you do, but taking some time to stretch. Another thing that, not just physically, but mentally, is going to ask whoever for them. Your Gogum, your Mushum, whoever, Auntie, and say, hey, I'm taking 5 minutes from my game right now. Do you need me to do anything? I guarantee you that will change a lot in your house, what people think of your gaming. Okay, so taking time to stretch, For 1, 2, getting up, walking somewhere, and 3, asking whoever you live with, Kogo, Mojam, auntie, uncle, cousins, do you need any help with anything while I have a 5? That will make a lot of things a little bit more easier in your household, okay? So, and finally, not but last, but what the last one is. Okay. Sleep. Getting your sleep. Okay, and gaming takes away from that too sometimes, or other activities. Getting 6, 8, 10 hours of sleep is perfect for you. Some of us get 6 and it works for you. But getting more, 6 and more is good, okay? So taking the time to get some rest, especially on school days, okay? You need to have good rest to learn, to understand, to not sleep in class, to pay attention. Everyone here in this school that's an adult is here to help you get better in life. They're not here to get mad at you for sleeping. Okay? They're not here to tell you to get some sleep. It's up to you as a young adult. Okay? So make sure about that, okay? Talk a little bit about
We're going to talk about the next generation. This is about you guys. We're not here to share nonsense. We're here to help you guys when you get older. Strong minds and bodies start with simple choices. Real food, moving your body. And by real food, I mean food you don't have to put in the microwave. Food that's already in a box. I'm talking about food that grows from the ground. You pick it and you can eat it. That's real food, and that's the best food that's going to help you grow. Me and my husband were both 40 years old. We both play competitive sports still with like teenagers, even probably your parents. And we're able to do that because we take care of ourselves. And a few years ago, I seen a woman in her 50s play hockey for the first time. And she's really good and basketball. And I thought she was crazy, but you know what? She's an athlete. She took care of herself her whole life, and she could play with 20-year-olds, and that's my goal. I want to grow old to be a real deadly Gugum and Japan. Maybe I'll play with you guys when you guys get older. Who knows? I'm going to take care myself, and that's my goal. And I want you guys to take that from this presentation. I know chips and pop and pizza pops, they're fruit. It'll help you in the long run, and then you get used to it, and it gets easier to eat. Because take it from us, our 19-year-old, we still have to eat. Even though that we eat super healthy, he still doesn't want to eat with us because he likes his processed foods. And we always tell him, hey, you're not going to be happy if someone tells you have diabetes, especially so young. I know she works for the health clinic. They did, what do you call that? They took blood from a lot of young kids in Onion Lake, 12-year-olds, and more than half of them came back, and they were almost like they're on their way to having diabetes. And they're already almost having diabetes. Going to the store and drinking pop every day, that's what happens. Processed foods. So when we say have some real raw food, have a banana and orange. Your mom and dad and your mushroom and gugums are not buying that for nothing. They're buying that because they want you guys to be healthy. When you're healthy, you can come to school and you can enjoy your day better. So every time you choose food that fuels you, fruits, vegetables, meat, and protein, you're choosing strength and energy, not just for today, but for your future. And this one's powerful. We're breaking cycles. Our parents and our grandparents lived through struggles like diabetes, addictions, but we have the power to break those cycles. That starts with us, and it starts with you guys. Sports, my niece, there's people playing on these pictures, my dad, me and my dad, you know. When we take care of our health, we not only become stronger as individuals, but we lift up our whole community. Remember this, strong minds, strong bodies, ancestors, and we build the next generation to last.
All right. So, I'm here for my mom today. I'm here for my uncles. I'm here for my, they went through the struggles of residential school. My mom, she ran away when she was 15 to Saskatoon by herself. Things that they went through, is crazy to think about. And what they did for us, to carry on our generation and our traditions and our culture. And one of those things is the medicine wheel. Now, I use the medicine wheel in my everyday life. Okay? And that's not 24/7, but it's at the start of my day. It might be in the mid part of my day. And that's meaning using spirituality, mental health, physical, emotional. How about we try those things for ourselves? Use what is handed down to us. Okay? So for mental health, going to talk to somebody if you need somebody to talk to, or going for a walk. All right? Spiritual. How I start my day is I smudge every day. That's how I start my day off, is smudging, and it puts me on a good path for the rest of my day. Okay? Physical. Now I go for walks every morning with my little dog. Some of you guys may see me with her, Victoria, Serena Badger. But that's something that makes something I work on for my physical health. Emotional, I share how I'm feeling. I used to think I'm too man to get help. I'm too big of a man, I don't need it. I can help myself. I talk to someone about my feelings. I let them know how my day's going. If something's going bad, they try to help me through it, and that's what people are. Me and my wife as well. We're not mental health therapists, but we are certified life coaches as well, that we could help you get to those goals that you want to get to. There's other, people you could reach as well. That my wife, Alicia Oliver and Ashley, like people like that. You have that in your guys' reach. So you need it. Think about it. You're not alone, you guys. If you feel alone ever, you're not. Like my bro Randall said, things that help you, that make you feel, and it does not have to be your own you believe in. But our culture does make us strong, makes us together, helps us meet other people like today. We're speakers. And that's what it's about, sharing. You guys, okay? You guys can see our social media there. You can find us on Facebook at Beauty Life and the Beast Barber, TikTok. I'm not as much of a social media person, but my wife does all that. And if you call or you message and you need something and you're asking for the Beast Barber, she'll let me know, okay? And that's how we work as a team. We work as a team to help our people, to give back for what we have taken at times in our rough part of our lives, the struggling parts. Okay? So that being said, let's take action. Let's not just listen to us speak and then go home and do nothing. Let's take some action. that we want this change. That we don't have to deal with this anymore. That our next generations don't have to deal with this. Okay, and let's be. And where we come from. I know I am. Man, I feel like I'm an Onion Laker, and I'm proud of that. I met so many people that have been good to me, and I've been good to them. We work on things together. I've been to a couple sweat lodges, and I'm proud to say that I'm from here. You know, my wife is from here, and that's what it's about, guys, okay? And helping yourself get to a better place. Guys, thank the school here for having us, and, you know, continue, guys, continue to work forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Give me a hug. Okay, guys, real quick. We're going to have a break, but while I get thank you gifts, give them one more round of applause. Thank you for the message. Okay, listen. We have one more. It's 2:20. If you're not in here at 2:30, you are not going to be eligible for these draws. Go have a quick 10-minute body break. Hi.
Smokes, it's on microphone. Oh, okay. Huh? Who moved to Sterling?
Yeah, I'm ready. Check, check, mic check. Hello, I'm Aisha, and I'm gonna be interviewing.
Ken Badger, the Beast Barber.
Yes, they did a big, beautiful presentation about a lot of healthy stuff, and yeah, I'm here to talk about it a bit. When did you guys start?
Together, we started doing what we're doing about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, and motivational speaking and talking about life and, things so you could live your way in a healthy life, things like that. So, yeah, a couple, year and a half, 2.5 years ago, we started together. But my
Okay, she's been carrying that, so bring her to the show. Hi. I'm gonna ask a question about how did your guys' movement move, if that makes sense. How fast did it take off?
Our TikTok?
No.
Our
Like what you guys are doing.
probably about 2 years we started doing this. We started taking our fitness training 2 years ago, and that's when it really started blowing up in the community. Programs and classes that was free for adults and kids. Going.
Okay, that's amazing. You guys are very, very inspiring. I never thought would bring, like, bring back into our community is a healthy diet. And like, I grew up in a family where diabetes runs in our, and our like that. It's like the future. Like I said before, the future seems bright. For coming out.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Do you guys want to say shout out?
We all love everybody. We're making life, a good life, and following the medicine wheel and our culture and food and health. Everything powerful. That's what we're about. Let's go.
Good energy. You guys have
I
very
want
good
to say
energy.
one more thing. If you want to see more things about fitness and nutrition and health, follow Beauty Life and the Beast Barber. I share on there a lot. Even on TikTok, we do fitness and we do healthy eating.
Okay, that's amazing. Yes, give them a follow. So shout out to you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Something with this handle, we're going to do something with flying. Yeah, what's the person? There. What I'm doing. Yeah. And then you wake up. Joseph, you're going to get some candy below. Just any of the candies like these.
being on Indian time all the time. That's as far as those go. Whoosh. Come on in. Come sit down. There's a box right there for tickets, guys. This is gonna probably be our last session. He doesn't even try catch, he just runs away from them. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. Make sure your ticket's right there. There's a box. Thank you for Zachary. 7. Did I say 7? 6. 5. If you have your tickets, there's a box right at the front. 4. Box is up there, Jordan. Right up there, see it? 3. 2. Get all the students in here, staff. This is probably going to be our last session. Right there's the ticket box. Your name, if you need your name on there, there's a pen here. 1. Up there, the box. Yeah, put your name on there. I need to know whose that is so I know who wins. My boys in the back over there. You guys think your staff aren't watching. Thank you to the kids that need to be checked. It's exactly what I need. Please, if you see real good so far. Super good. I love it. He said you guys aren't. Are we ready? Are we ready to close the dungeon? The bear den? All right. I'll wait till everyone's ready. Eyes. The box is up there, look. I think this is gonna be our last session. Story, I'm waiting all the way across. I see too much movement. I see too much. Here, so who knew it was Spirit Week this week? Where's all your hats then? Today was crazy hair or hat. Who? He needs right there, that guy. Okay, listen, tomorrow, past decades or childhood, everything that I used to wear came back. How you guys dress? That's how we used to dress. You guys think is style? Not even. Friday, face paint Friday. SPC will paint your... Oh, all of a sudden, every day somebody will win a bucket of Timbits. They'll be randomly given away, but you have to participate. Can I get a round of applause for Brooke Chief? Come get your Timbits, girl. Good job, love it. Listen. 3, 2, 1. Presenter is my brother. It's like my dad and his mom are brother and sister. He's like my brother. And there was one point in time I never saw him for years. Know what he was doing. Never, ever, 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 ever saw him. Just disappeared. Just disappeared. And I always knew he would come back. I always knew he was never meant for that life. I always knew he would come back. Did. And he did. And I'm so thankful that he's here today to share his story. If you can give a round of applause for my brother, Brian Misto. He's here to talk about addictions.
Hi, Liana. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? You guys maybe you guys seen me before on the screen or something like that because I'm a part of 7 Generation. But I mean, I'm not here to talk about anything else but addiction. I got lost in addiction. It started, first of all, let's start everything again, take it from the top. Dan sinawago magantik, nanaskaman, epintu to yaga nuts, nanaskaman asim minagotak, peawigoya, kutawin outse. Now, let's go back to your language. Addictions. This is what I'm here. And my addictions wasn't handed down to me, but the intergenerational trauma was. And that's what led to addictions. Everything I felt growing up, all the neglect, all the being left out, all the getting pushed aside, I was never, say, like the person everybody wanted to hang out with when I was young. I was either too young for the older guys, the older kids, or too old for the younger kids. So I was kind of left on the side of the house, digging a hole in the sand and playing with little trucks and stuff like that, right? I felt really left out, pushed aside, secluded, everything like that. And these are things that I held that I didn't know were issues. I didn't know there were issues until later on in my life when I got things figured out. Everything I felt started when I was like 4 years old, you know. 4 years old from my earliest memory is watching my dad drive away. You know, watching him drive away after he threw a chair at the house, you know. I think that's where my trauma started. After that, you know, my mom did, you know, her best. You know, she took us places where she could, and being a part of like real. I think everybody from our age went through that lifestyle, and there's probably still people that are today. But you know, like ketchup sandwiches was really a treat when I was a kid. You know, ketchup on a piece of bannock, man, that was awesome. Going back to it though. Sorry, I'm getting old. I gotta take my glasses off to read. I'm a product of addictive personality. And I have the addictive personalities because I saw a lot of addictions going through. I learned from it. And getting older, I took those on as normal things in my life. Like these are things that I saw on a regular basis, so I thought they were normal. So acting that way, I thought I was normal. I didn't know that. You know, I was slowly being accustomed and slowly taking on this addictive lifestyle. I didn't realize that. Going back to my life. After feeling those traumas when I was a kid, coming up into my adolescence now, you know, that's the part where I was really affected a lot because I had nobody to turn to. I didn't know I was supposed to talk to people. Tired of hearing people. If you're feeling something, talk to somebody. It's real. After going through my adolescence, I thought it was okay for me to, move out of the house. I thought it was me being grown up and being a man, 17 years old, getting out of here and going to High River. But it was a way of me getting away from what I thought. It was a way of me running from my problems without dealing with them. I thought going someplace new and trying to live a life that wasn't me, trying to live a different life in a different place where nobody knew me, that didn't help. I still had all my issues. I still drank a lot, 17 years old, I was going into bars, drinking random people. Really, like the lifestyle was really unsafe. And that was in a town where, I'll tell you a little story. I was in the bar playing pool and drinking pitchers of beer because it was the cheapest beer I could get, right? Some random people came up to me and they started speaking Cree to me. They said, Tansa Toya. And I said, Maran. And then, oh, and I said, no, why? We're going to jump you. We're going to take you outside and we're going to beat you. If I spoke a different language, that's what they were. Calgary area over there, it's a real mentality because Cree and Dene don't get along. Blackfoot. And that's what they thought I was, a Blackfoot. But that's just an example of the place where I chose to go. Scary. Going now, going to school, making a decision to go to school. I signed up for mechanic school in Siak and Saskatoon. I went for the year. I didn't like it. Then I thought I wanted to make more money. I went into construction and I did a bunch of that. But all of these things, me running from my issues, my trauma, that led to more addiction, led to more smoking, because I thought I was living my life good, but here I was running from where I was hurting. After all of that, getting into the construction trade and everything like that, even that, being secluded in one piece of equipment, just me, myself, in a thing all day long, I had a lot of thinking time. A lot of thinking time where I thought about all sorts of things, everything from things that hurt me to things that made me feel good to things that I didn't want, and that started making me think like I'm not good. I'm not good enough to have friends, people don't like me or whatever, but that was me secluding myself. It led to more addictions. Picking up a DOC. DOC is a drug of choice. Mine in my 20s was alcohol. I did a lot of go to work all day, pick up a bottle in the evening, and then go to work the next day, and the next day, and the next day. It was an issue. I thought I had it under control. I didn't. I did this for a couple years, and it turned into a different addiction. Turned into a substance abuse addiction because I could no longer stay up during the day. I could no longer go through the whole day without falling asleep because the alcoholism got bad. So I started turning to substance abuse, using an upper during the day while at work. Wrong, don't do that. And that turned into even more addiction. And an addiction is something you can't control. something that does not discriminate. All and you do everything you can to get more. Went from having a good job, being a subcontractor in the construction field, getting introduced into the wrong crowd because of where it took me. It took me into places that are not healthy. Took me into the wrong crowds, dragged me down to the point where I had to start, making poor decisions. I had to sell the stuff to get my high. That after that started, everything went downhill. All of my skills, all of that stuff out the window. Went out the window, and it back, at a point in time in my life, I thought that was the way it was going to be for the rest of my life. I thought I was going to be just an addict. Just somebody who used to be somebody, and there was no coming back from it. That's where I thought, that was my honest. That wasn't very long ago. When she mentioned that I was gone for a few years, I was. When I started selling drugs and making poor decisions, I started going to jail, coming out of jail, getting back into my bad habits, going back to jail. I spent a lot of time in jail. I spent a lot of time in a cell, thinking to myself a lot, why am I here? Because in jail, you're sober. You're sober and you got to handle it. Out here, it's your choice, Choose wisely, choose right, choose not to. Choose to take care of yourself before anything else. Taking care of yourself is being healthy. Intergenerational trauma and what led me to addiction. I think it was touched on once or twice here throughout the day, is people talked about their parents and their parents not being able to tell them that they love you, not being able to feel that love from somebody, because that was taken away from them by residential schools, and our parents not being able to come back from that. I know for a fact my son had an issue with me, and for 10 years, about 10, must have been about 10 or 11 when I got told that he thought I didn't love him, is because I never told it to him. So I did my best to address that. I tell him to this day now, every time I see him, well, I tried to, that I love him. I tell a lot of people now that I love them. Because if it wasn't for a lot of people in my life, like my family, my daughter, my boys, my parents, I still tell them I love them, even though, for one, my father only told me he loved me when he was drunk. My mom tells me she loves me, but a lot of that I didn't hear when I was a kid. It was, that word right now, I love you, you hardly ever heard it when we were children. Hardly. If you heard it, it was probably, I don't know, 1 in a million, I would say. That wasn't said a lot. Going back to addictions now. Triggers are one of the things that you got to deal with as a part of addiction. And people, places, words that cause a feeling, an emotion that goes on. Topics, the topic of, partying, the topic of hanging out with your friends, topic of, going to the lake. There was 7 of you guys, 1 truck, cab truck, bonfire. All these triggers that you hear, emotion inside you. And that's why that it's a mental trigger, an emotional trigger. And if we can catch them right there, if you can take that, if you feel something that makes you feel emotion that you have no avenue to reach out and speak to somebody on, try not to hold that in. If you can identify that and what caused it and address those promptly and efficiently and as quick as you can, and if you don't think you can identify what caused your trigger, right? When it was caused, what led up to it. If you can write those down, you have a reference point to come back and try figure out how to overcome those triggers. Because if you don't overcome them and if you don't deal with them right away, if you don't address those triggers when they're mental or emotional, they turn into a physical trigger. And that's where you back and you pick up your DOC. That I had a hard time with figuring out what my issues were. The reason why I had a hard time with that is because I had a mental block. I didn't want to go back to what hurt me. I didn't want to go and relive why I felt the way I felt. It wasn't until I met somebody who spoke to me real and authentic, and I could relate to his story, that's when I thought, you know what? I could get something from this guy. I could understand what he's saying and apply that to myself in a way that works for me. And it worked, This was probably about 2018 when I really wanted to change my life and come back from where I was, the dark phase of life that I was in. About 7 years I was, I think, lost in addiction, lost in a bad lifestyle, lost in jail, in and out of jail, poor decisions, all of that. You think that people like you when you're in addiction? They don't. They only like what you can give them. How you can help them. How you can help them get to their next DOC. That's all they like, That's all they want from you. They don't care who you are. They don't care if you die one day. They're going to say, oh, he's dead. And they're picking up their DOCs and say, oh, well, he was a good guy. Gone. Forgotten. They don't. Nobody cares. In the life of addiction, nobody cares. They only care about their DOCs, their drug of choice. Combating triggers. I think I touched a little bit on this. If you can address your talking about them, writing them down, figuring it out, because every one of you here, nobody has the same train of thought. Nobody here is wired the same. For one person something might work, but that doesn't mean not to share your knowledge. Whatever you do, whatever you learn from, if something helps you, share your knowledge with the other person that's struggling. Addiction is real. Addiction kills. It takes a lot of our community members. It takes a lot of people from all across the country. And it's real. Do does anybody here, show of hands, willpower, anybody? Like 6 people. 7. Oh wait, 7. 8. Oh no, he's just throwing a bottle around. Willpower. If you know what willpower, person beside you, and they could share with the other person you the definition of willpower, is having the ability to make a decision and stand by it. That's my definition of it. Being able to stand by something in a strong way to where you don't have any distractions, you don't have any diversions, things like that. Having the strength to make a decision and just stand by it, you know. 2.5 years ago, wait, what's the date today? October 1st? November 6th, 23. I made a decision to change my life. That wasn't 2 full years ago. But prior to that, I was lost in addiction, living on the streets, you know, dressing real rubby. I didn't have good friends. I only knew people that were in the same boat that I was in. It was a little bit of a struggle, you know, coming, because I had to do that life change in order to change my lifestyle and come out of jail, because I was in jail when I made that decision. I was in jail for a stupid decision that I made. I was tired of living like that. I didn't want to be there anymore. I wanted to have people that, you know. And so I made a decision by it. That's willpower. Sticking by that. And I'm only growing from now. Last year, I was able to join ceremonies, and I really like that. Being a those. That's something that I was kind of introduced to when I was a kid. It wasn't from my parents, it was from my grandparents. Musum and Nugum would take us to the Sundance. You know, we're allowed close to the lodge because that whip man would come and say, "Get out of here, go back to your house," which was all right. It was normal back then. So catching triggers early is like a key point. If you guys can understand what triggers you, if you could understand what triggers you and how to address it, you know, if you can catch it right there before anything else, before you pick up and see and have a physical relapse, physical, you know, use of don't have to worry about, you know, if you can catch it at the mental part or the emotional part, you don't have to worry about the physical part, because you already beat it. You already beat that urge, that trigger, or if you're a user and if you want to apply, then you've defeated a relapse. I started hanging out with a bunch of people. You know, I lived at the transitional home, and I kind of currently live in the trailer in the back. That's the old transition. But while I was at the transitional home, I was going to meetings here at the wellness center. And I started hanging out with people from Lloydminster, people called the Residents in Recovery. And I made friends there, and I really felt like I belonged while I was there. I still feel like I belong while I'm there, even though when I'm here, I could call them at any time and they're going to answer their phones and we're going to talk. It's a really good feeling to feel like you belong someplace when all that was being pushed away, you know, being shunned out. No, get out of here, little kids. No, get out of here, you're too big for us there, you know. And I felt that a lot. So it really felt good for me to feel someplace where I belonged. To this day, I still talk to them a lot. I go to conferences with them. You know, I've been to 2 conferences, and they're annual, so, you know, I like that. So if you could take something away from this addictions and a little bit of the story I told, you know, take away that the feeling that you're feeling is real. To somebody, don't be afraid. Talk to somebody who's, you know, beside you. Talk to a teacher. Talk to people. Talk to the, you know, a counselor, the wellness center, somebody at the rehab, somebody in higher position that's willing to listen to you. There's so many resources that you could reach out to, you know. The wellness center, counselors, school counselors, platforms like the Talking Stick, Residents in Recovery, I mentioned, you know, rehabs all over the country, friendship centers, or meetings. If you really need to talk to somebody and you can go to a support group and attend a meeting. But with that, you know, I just want to say thank you to everybody for being such good listeners. And I Am I done? Was that too short? Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, real quick while I give him his thanks for Brian. Hi. Listen. Was not just one person. This took a team. Okay. Helped us. Josh, are you out there? Is rec and prevention here? So all these door prizes, like prevention, this guy here, say thank you. Hi. That's from us. Hi. Where's the rec team? Taught in grade 1. And who was the other guy? Isaiah and Dalen. Never taught Dalen. Thank you, boys. They brought some more door prizes. Helped us. Shake my hand. Wow. Look, I taught him in grade 1. Look.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. 7th Gen, they're live. If you guys can make your way down, or we can do this later because I know you guys are taking care of the equipment. Can we give them a round of applause, please? Thank you. Thank you so much to everybody. All right. I'll pick the first one. What are we going to raffle off first? We're the next one, okay? $15 Starbucks. Oh my God. Yep, that one. Real sick. Our presenters are I let Josh Nastus. Fixed. Cheating. Okay, Mr. Nastus, pick. Oh, now you guys want to come throw your tickets in. Next one. Yep, just go along. Ransom. He only has 3 seconds. Yeah, you gotta be here. You gotta be here. This ain't no free ride. Ransom, come. Pick the next one. Come pick the next one. You gotta come all the way up. Once we're done here, we load the buses, okay? Pick. Quit trying to hug me. He's just so happy he wants a hug. Madison Chin. Is she here? Yeah, she is. Do you even play the game? Give me a Starbucks. The next one, Apple is Thunder Wolf. Thunder Wolf. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice hat, guy. Right there. Pick the next one. So we're going to Keithan Giroux. Keithan. Neck shaker. We gotta go quick. Let's see. Miss Noseworthy. She said this earlier. I never win anything. Look at her now. She only has 500 cups, so have another one. Now, Wolf. Clapping for each other. Oh, I was gonna say here. Aiden Waskiewicz. Real quick while we're waiting. So, like I said earlier today, we were supposed to be involved in today, but because of the date change, we needed this today. You guys needed this today. Back. Wow, wait. ZS, yellow, ZS. Zerenskina. Cha. You're lucky my eyes. So with that, we learned today. And start helping each other. Yo. Aiden Lewis. Because we have so many students who aren't here today. Aiden has 3 single seats, should be full. The ones that were here, now you have all this information. Tannen Cardinal. I want you to use this information to help each other, the ones who aren't here. We need to stop acting like we're so cool and thinking you can talk back. You need to stop acting like you can be mean to each other and fight each other and say stuff to each other and do all this stuff to each other. Please stop doing that to each other. I'm serious. You guys don't even know the effects that you have on somebody, even just by looking like that. Laren Wolf Oxabin. Today, our generation, nobody told us. So now you guys have the tools at a way younger age. Kaylin Trottier, Bazinga. Oh wow, look at his lovely hat. What do we got? What do we got? Blue. There. Another. Done. You all can go. Raphael Giganter G. Come on down. Room now. We're not even done, guys. We'll have like 10 plus a real big speaker. Here, Mr. G. Mr. G. Tanya Chief. Gun. Wow. Wow. What's the next thing? A charging dock power bank. Tanea. Luckily she stayed her sister. Miss Find It. Right there. Okay, I'm gonna mix these up. Teachers are winning. It worked. Lawrence Patagan. What is that? Earbuds with a charging case. Lawrence going once. That would make him get up. Pick one, buddy. But if you're not wearing an orange shirt, you don't win. Bailey. Wait. Who doesn't know how to spell? You guys. Are Brielle Quinney. Brielle. Your R and A are way too close. 1, 2, 3 more things and then go to the bus. Get to the buses, please. One. Harmony Cook with the E. I remember Harmony from Pewa Senag when I'd Harmony Cook with the E. Would always say. Yeah, it's an E. People keep on forgetting the E. Darcy. All right, Darcy. Miss McDonald. Chief. Jerome Chief. Is he here? Jerome? You guys had a good day? Muestas. Did everybody from 7th Gen get there? Everybody? Yes?
No D&D for boys today. Sorry, not no practice or anything. Get on your bus. Don't hang around. Go away.